So that's it. University is closed. We're all sent home. We're all working from home. What's going on? Stay tuned. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Reza Rutsari. I'm the Director of Undergraduate Education of the School of Dentistry, University of Manchester, and thanks a lot for joining me on another episode of Manchester Molars. As you're all aware, a few days ago we were asked to stop all face-to-face teaching, and therefore we were all sent away to work from home. Now, I understand that this is causing a lot of confusion and it's creating a lot of uncertainties for both us as a staff as well as, of course, you guys as students. And I'm sure you've got probably 1,000,003 questions to ask me, but to be honest, based on the time I've got on Manchester Molar, I try to touch on probably the last 3, and I will leave you with the 1 million remaining one. But anyway, so starting with, probably the first thing you're thinking, oh, what's going to happen to my teaching and lectures and symposia and email, etc., etc. The good news is we're getting quite good at using a number of online platforms which are now available to us as a staff. So the one I've been trying this morning is called Zoom, and it's great. So I've got no problem whatsoever with running the EBLs or some of the seminars using this platform. And as soon as we get pretty much all the staff on board, I'm sure we can continue with your EBLs and symposia and essentially the clinical and preclinical skills lectures. Now, you might be slightly twitchy about, oh my God, like, so what do I do if I'm traveling, or I'm going to be in quarantine in my country, or it's a time difference and I cannot watch that. Now, the great news is the majority of the softwares which at the moment we're exploring, it allows you to also screen record, which means we can create a podcast there and then. So we can put them on Blackboard, so you can go ahead and watch them whenever it's convenient to you. That's what we're aiming to do, and that's what we're trying to do, and hopefully that's going to be what is going to be available to you guys. In terms of some of the missed lectures and symposia, now especially the ones who are delivered by people who are potentially medics, or they are quite high level. At the moment, they're incredibly busy with a variety of different clinical and non-clinical tasks that they might have. So there might be a few weeks lag before we can produce the podcasts for you. And these are just simply because there are much more pressing matters which they have to attend to before they've got an hour or two to sit in front of the computers and create a podcast for you. So if you didn't get your podcasts ready on time, please do not panic. I'm sure as soon as Easter break is finished, by the time you come back, well, I would say by the time Easter finishes, then hopefully all those podcasts will be ready. But panic not, we will get all your teaching material delivered to you, definitely in an online format, so there's nothing to worry about. Now, the second thing you might be worrying about is distractions of working from home. And to be honest, I do not have a good answer in order how you can mitigate that. What we are, however, doing is we are trying to be very, very understanding. So we understand that you may not have an excellent internet, you may not have a quiet room, you may not be even in an area where you got readily access to a computer or a laptop, you cannot revise, you cannot have access to things. So we totally understand that you don't have to keep emailing us and reminding of that. So what we're trying to do is we have to try to come up with plans to make sure all these very justifiable and valid mitigating circumstances are taken into consideration. And I'm sure it does bring me to assessment. You probably noticed that in my previous announcements, I tried to at least give you an idea of where we might be going with our assessment. So what we know is that anything which has got a sort of face-to-face or physical component is going to be postponed for a long time. So for instance, if you're still wondering about what's going to happen with your OSCEs, to be honest, we cannot run OSCEs online. So we are thinking about, if possible at all, to move them to the distant future. So if you're planning on making travel arrangements or whether to revise or not, don't panic about OSCEs at this point at all. And we will come back to that whenever we know a bit more. In terms of your MCQs and short answer papers, and most importantly finals, to be honest, we are constantly, and I mean constantly, we are having telephone calls, over emails, Zoom conferences with all your year leads and our assessment lead and our head of the school to try to come up with plans B and C and D for a variety of different scenarios. And the reason I'm touching on that is because we are still waiting for GDC, first of all, to give us some guidance of where we should be going or where they're expecting us to go in terms of assessment. And second, there will be an announcement, hopefully before end of tomorrow, Friday, by Dame Nancy Roswell in terms of a generic and global strategy of where we all should be going for assessments. Do I know much about it? I've heard rumors, but I do not want to act on rumors. All I can tell you at this stage is that we are planning for possibility A and B and C and D, and we will try to figure out when we've got at least a general direction of where we're going. Then we go with one of the plans which will benefit you the most and is the fairest to you. Please do not panic. We are on your side. We are your friends. At the end, what we would like to ensure is that we do something which is absolutely fair to you, is very robust, is very transparent, and is not going to disadvantage any of you in any shape or any form. With that, I would also like to call Dr. Dixon, our assessment lead, just to check in on her and also see if she's got anything more to add to assessment. So let's just give her a call. Hi, Carly.
Hi, Reza. How are you?
Very well, yourself?
It's not too bad.
So, you're at Manchester Molars. Just wondering if you've got any updates on exams, please.
Well, what I can really tell you from our side is that we're trying to work out all the different potential options. Usually we're doing all our exams, it's all at the school level, but as every student across every specialty is affected in terms of their exams, it has to go up to quite high levels really to make the decisions. So it's run through all the faculties, and at the moment it's being reviewed with Nancy, who will have the final say who will be able to decide what she thinks is best for the students. So in the meantime, what we're doing is kind of plotting and working out all different options that we could potentially provide. And then once we hear back from them, and then also the GDC, who have to make sure everything's quality assured, then we'll be able to give you the clear advice rather than giving you any mixed messages. We want to make sure we can give you all the information just at the right time that way. So if you just bear with us, we are working on different options, but I hope to let you know as soon as I can.
Okay, that's great, Carly. Is there anything that the students have to worry about? I know some of them are making like travel arrangements. They want to go back home. They may not have internet. Do they have to worry about it? Or are we keeping all of those in our minds?
Yeah. The most important thing is that everyone's safe, that they get home to where they need to be, and I appreciate some students have got considerable journeys to travel and they are really important to us. No one will be penalised no matter where they are in the world. I want to make that perfectly clear that we really want to look after everyone, and just kind of have a bit of peace of mind really that we are thinking about them all, and that we will do everything that's fair for everyone no matter where you are really. And I do hope that everyone is okay as well and looking after themselves.
Absolutely that. Okay, thanks, Carly. So you keep safe, look after yourself, and I will see you soon.
Bye now. Bye everyone.
Right, and I think the fourth question which comes to mind is, now we are working from home and we've got access to all this food. So I think the biggest challenge is, how do we make sure that we're not going to put a lot of weight before we all are allowed to come back to work and to normality? So how about we keep fit with Emma and Gabby? Very well done, Emma and Gabby. That was absolutely brilliant, trying to keep us all fit and healthy. With that note, we're coming to the end of this episode. Until next Thursday, I've been Reza Rutsari. You've been amazing, and I will see you all next week.